Welcome back. It is time to go over the books I read in December. So I'm doing it in bits again. So I'm going to share the first 3 books I've read this month. Starting off with the one I just finished most recently because I haven't written any notes and I don't want to forget. So I read The Predator by R.U. Nix. So it's basically a mafia romance. So the main girl is super smart. She can do all coding and stuff like that. And I've forgotten her name already. I think her name is like Morana or something like that. Yeah, so she created these codes and they got stolen, and then she is trying to find them. And the main guy is part of the opposite like group of mafia people. So I feel like you know where that goes. But it was quite fast paced and yeah, it was quite interesting. So I gave that a 3 out of 5 stars. That was the most recent book. Now going back to the first book that I read this month, that was Animal Farm. It was part of my Penguin Clothbound collection. And do you know what? Considering it's like a Clothbound classic, I really enjoyed it. I liked how short it was, obviously, because those books have been super long and super difficult. But like at times it was like difficult to remember you were talking about animals and obviously there to represent people, but it was interesting. It was shocking. I didn't expect it to be what it was, and I've read another George Orwell book. This one was better. So yeah, I enjoyed that one quite a lot. I'm going to put a picture of the books just up there as I'm talking about them. But yeah, I enjoyed that one, and I think I gave that one a 3 out of 5 stars as well. I gave that one a 4 out of 5 stars. So yeah, I think it's important for people to read that one. I enjoyed it, and I'm excited to add the book to my collection. And then the other book I've read so far this month, we're only on the 8th of December, so I feel like I'm whizzing through these. The other book I read this month is Book People by Jackie Ashenden. It was a NetGalley ARC, so thank you to NetGalley for letting me read this book. And I really enjoyed it. It was so good. It's got mixed reviews, so I don't think everybody has loved this book, but it was right up my street. So it was a grumpy sunshine romance. Kate, the girl, moves from London to this tiny little village in the UK and opens up a bookshop. The only problem with that is she opens up a bookshop directly opposite another bookshop, and the other bookshop is owned by Sebastian, and so he's annoyed. Obviously he immediately hates her. He's so moody and he doesn't talk to anybody and he doesn't really have any friends, and he's got these rules of like dating. He won't date anyone in the town, and he's putting on this festival and Kate really wants to be a part of the festival. Yeah, so I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the relationship between Kate and Sebastian because I genuinely at some points thought he did really hated her, which was interesting because normally in a romance they quickly realize they don't hate each other, but I feel like he just didn't like her for a lot of it, to be honest. So yeah, that was good. I liked the bookshop setting, obviously, because I like books, and it was great to read something a little bit different than I've read before. So I really enjoyed that. So those are the first 3 books I've read this month. So I have read 2 more books that I want to tell you about. The first one was Wait For You by J. Lynn, it says, but I think it's Jennifer Armentrout. But it's got some trigger warnings, so if you're going to read this one, just make sure that you have read up what it's about before. But it's about this girl. She goes to a college, so if you're from the UK, uni, and she's had a really bad experience at home, and she physically walks into this guy, and he's super good looking, and she's so embarrassed, and then she has this little group of friends, and this guy, he tries his hardest to be friends with this girl. He asks her out on a billion dates. It was really, really cute. It had some topics, so I definitely would, go careful if you're triggered by things like that. Had some topics, but yeah, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was nice. I liked that the guy was waiting for her like he said he would. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I think I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars on Goodreads, so yeah, I liked that. I liked it a lot. The next book I read was a NetGalley ARC, so thank you so much for Tonette Galley. It was Perfectly Wedded by Grace Worthington. So thank you, Grace Worthington, for letting me read your book. And it's basically this girl, she has some roommates. The roommates happen to be hockey players, like housemates. And she gets really, really ill. One of the hockey players is like friendly with her, looks after her, all of that stuff. And then they go to Vegas and they get married. And it was funny, it was cute, I enjoyed it. I gave it a 3 out of 5 stars. I'm going to do a bit of a spoiler, so if you don't want to spoil it, just skip ahead a minute. But they go on honeymoon, and which is really cute, and they have a lovely time. But her sister and his brother are together, they're married. So it's already a bit weird anyway, I think, for me, because my family's quite close. So I couldn't imagine, like, my sister going out with John's if he had a brother. But, you know, it is what it is. And then they go on the honeymoon with the couple that we're reading about. And I just don't think it was needed. Like, it added, I guess, a couple of scenarios, like, situations for them. But I don't know, it was weird. That doesn't normally happen. There was just that bit was but yeah, other than that, really, really enjoyed it. The story was really quick. I liked reading it, so I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. And I'm currently reading Emma in the Night. I'm hoping to get it finished before the end of December, so I'm hoping straight after this is a review.
Okay, so I'm still reading Emma in the Night, so I won't add that to this month's finished book list. But before I wrap up the video, I did just want to go through my reading stats from this year with you, because now we're ending our whole year. I've been trying out a new reading app called, it's not new to the world, it's just new to me, Fable, and I read 43 books this year. My average rating was 3.4 stars, which isn't very good. Here is my table of when I read. So my most read month was April, and my least read months were July and September. Those months I only read 1 book. But then in April I read 7. That's a lot. It says my most read genres there. So mostly I read romance, then young adult, then fantasy, then literary fiction, and then sci-fi. I don't remember any sci-fi books, so that's quite interesting. And then I read 4 Jennifer L. Armentrout. I've lost it now. I read 4 Jennifer L. Armentrout books, 2 Colleen Hoover, 2 Tahara Mafi, and 2 Tessa Bailey books. So clearly I was feeling the romance in 2024. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you read in December down in the comments below. And I will see you in my next video for my January TBR.